Hello, 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 and welcome back to the StrawHatLucas YouTube channel. How we doing out there today? I am going to be relatively quick and just say hello to the audience as we get started for the 20th session of the Sakura Pirates. We're all here. We're all rearing to go. Let's get this popping. I'm going to toss it over to our wonderful, wonderful DM to take us into sesh. Mikey.
What's good, everybody? Welcome on in. Happy to have you here joining us for session 20. Yeah, that's a pretty big one. Excited to be here. Today we got all of our crew gathered again for this session. So I'm super stoked. To start us off with today, I'm going to begin our next cover story series. The first entry is called The Black Sheep. The fire kept the creatures of the wetlands off their backs, tender as they still were. His burned worst of all, with its crisscrossed lines and bubbling scabs. He had not taken his leather surcoat off in nearly a decade. That was partly a relief to his skin, he had to admit. But the others wouldn't approach him to tend to his mark, the way they were with each other. His mark. Even now, Kundalini tended to Mudgut, still tear-struck over his stupid doll, and Iwi Otik replaced the bandages on Toe Cutter's back as their remaining captain stared plaintively into the fire, unflinching and unblinking. There was a gleam in those defeated eyes as he jolted to his feet as soon as Iwi finished, startling the makeshift medic. He raised a dramatic hand in the air. "Our marks," Toe Cutter declared theatrically, "are a sign of blessing by the Lightened One." And as he dropped his hand slowly to point a finger at Nightspawn, the others chanted, "Lightened One." Toe Cutter breathed through his mouth before he finally said, "And you are made from darkness." Nightspawn felt feverish. "I was ever loyal to the Night Rider, and he was my dearest, oldest friend," Toe Cutter said. "You are his man, never mine. We will honor the Night Rider in my way." Take this one, marked by shadow. The shadows leapt across Toe Cutter's face as he said it, and the others, except for Iwi, rounded upon Night Spawn before he could move. Johnny the boy's laughter rattled around in his eardrums painfully close as he was lifted in the air. I'm going to kind of do our recaps the same way, just as we revisit each character. Today we're going to open things off with Abyss, as our good man Ragnar was unfortunately indisposed last session. Bring us over here to the Roshuan overmap. Kind of a outline of where everybody is at the moment. Abyss, you were hurtling under the water off the shore of Roshuan, kind of led along by the Z disappearance. And you came across none other than that panda shark you had done small battle with in Ryomachi, who seemed to address the two of you. Unfortunately, instead, the Z-Beast saw a tunnel burrowed underground, creeping under the island, and as he went in, you lost touch with the moonlight, and he transformed back into you. And as the current sucked you through the tunnel's abyss, you steadily lost consciousness as you became part of the darkness, feeling your body through your unconsciousness, still hurtling along at the water's speed. All of a sudden, though, you know you are not awake, but you feel as if you are borne on the back of something. And all of a sudden, visions of you staring up at the sky come clear into view. You are borne on the back of that panda shark as he swims toward a faraway dot on the horizon line. And though there are rocky tunnel walls on either side of you, they open up into a broad, open sky.
What?
And at this point, just kind of curious what's going through Abyss's head, and it might influence a couple of different things.
At this point, Abyss is going to be more confused. Like, where is he? It's going to be like, what happened? And probably the first thing he'll probably try to do is probably look around to get a feel for his surroundings. Like, because he's just going to be confused as to where he is. Because the last thing he saw was him going into a cave, and the next thing you know, he's looking at the open ocean.
Yeah, if you okay, in that case, just toss me something in the realm of like insight. I would take investigation or active perception as well. Up to you.
All right.
Oh, wow, nice. Okay. Another session started off with a pretty strong roll. Yeah, at that 25, it's going to be pretty evident to you this is something like that dream you had. These strange things seem to be a little bit more, and one thing you're sure of is this can't be any form of reality. The last thing you saw were those dark, craggy tunnel walls on either side of you as the last light of the outside world left and you were sucked in that tunnel. But it's just an impossible landscape. You also see that dot on the horizon that the panda shark is shuttling you toward. It's growing larger as you get closer to it.
Oh. At this point, Abyss is going to check his body to check if he has all of his items. So he's going to check if and make sure he has his skulls. My skulls! Oh!
Interesting. Uh, you have all of your possessions at the moment. You don't have anything except for, perhaps the depending on which form you're in. You might be in your chibi form. Um, you can choose that actually, but that might actually change a little something.
Oh, this is. I'm gonna be in my chibi form, yeah.
Okay, yeah, in that case, you are completely relieved of your possessions at the moment, including the coffin. You know there is not even like that feeling of a tie of, oh, I know where I put it. It is completely gone at the moment.
What the? What's happening? Well, ooh,
You
here's a
hear a
good one.
voice. When you
What?
does Abyss ask that?
Yeah, I was like, what's happening?
Okay. What were you gonna say before I reply?
Oh, I was wanting to know
You had
if it was
something after that.
daytime or nighttime, because if it was daytime, am I affected by the light in here? I wanted to know if like the sunlight was real, basically.
It's not like sunlight, it's like a weird pre-dawn gray or maybe like twilight. It's almost like the lighting of the Twilight realm in Twilight Princess, but it's a lot more gray than that.
I can
But no, you're
understand
not
that.
affected by that.
Okay, so this is different. Okay, now I understand. The setting is just completely different. My skulls! You see Abyss drops on all fours.
As you do, you hear a somewhat familiar voice say to you, "You must go."
Is that you? Beast! Go where?
No, it is I. The beast is behind us. And as you look ahead, you will notice that dot on the horizon has grown into the white, snow-capped solitary mountain that you saw in the last vision. And you innately feel suddenly a sense of urgency from behind you.
See? I look behind me.
Just empty darkness, more reminiscent of the physical tunnel you got sucked into. You suddenly notice that some of the spiky rocks on the side of either side of the canyon you seem to be passing down start to close, and the gaping maw behind you shuts and chomps down on the path of water you have just left as you see the burning eyes of the Z-Beast staring at you.
What the hell is happening? Wait, if that's the beast, then who are you?
It matters not, but you must follow sooner or later. And the panda shark chances a little glance over its shoulder at you this time, locks eyes with you with one of its solitary yellow hunter's eyes before it faces ahead again, and swims a little bit faster. But the Z-Beast takes another bite out of the path behind you. Will you roll me a Constitution save? All right, at a 13, we're going to switch scenes here real quick. Abyss, if you want to plant your token down pretty much anywhere there on the little shoreline,
Sure.
you suddenly wake up. You You have like the equivalent of when a human wakes up from a terrible dream, gasping for air. You feel that sensation despite your supposed lack of physical property like that. You feel this tightness about you.
Hunter? I'm talking about the fish. I just call him that. I don't know what his name is.
Oh, interesting. What is your... Yeah, if you do in there of the water off of just your passive being enough, there's no sign after the panda shark anywhere. It's a very dark shoreline. Seems like you're still in some tunnel, but you're here in open air now. There is light as you look around too. You're noticing a great bonfire over there behind you, along with a couple other things and people.
I'm gonna go into a stealth at this point. Like I'm gonna sneak around a bit and listen in.
Okay. Well, there is that fire, but it's in this dark cavern. It's casting very deep shadows. You're probably able to slip into the cracks and crevices of the stony rock every which way. If you're heading toward this over here in order to listen in, I assume, yeah, you're gonna notice in this area there's just that spike wall set up.
It failed my stealth.
Have an ability where if it's an inch of darkness, you can do it automatically. I can roll off that roll if you like, but yeah, your shadow crouch meets these conditions. So it's up to you.
I do have the shadow crouch. Well, you know, I'll use it. I'll use it. Shit.
All right. Yeah, in that case, there is plenty of darkness and shadow there to activate that. You slither up alongside. Here the shadows are flickering ever so slightly, especially as you get closer. There is some light emanating from this hut, and you see these two figures here in the dim light. One of them is a pretty tall-looking guy, not quite Leadbelly's height, but he's got muscles around for days. He's bigger than, in terms of muscular stature, he's bigger around than anybody on the crew right now. He's got a big scar across his face, and he's smoking a cigarette along with the other person who's there. She's a much more slender looking person, short haircut. She's smoking as well. She's wearing a dark boiled leather outfit. They both are armed as well, you notice. And as you are creeping up close, trying to listen in, you quickly realize they're just kind of talking like cuisine. They're just talking, kind of chit-chatting. The guy says, yeah, I tried some of that food from that diner that opened up. Dressrosa food is pretty good, yeah. I can see why you like it. She just nods along, smiles, and says, yeah, but I guess you like your flatbreads, sophisticated crackers, huh? Nothing much more than that. Try to get you to eat a snail, it'll never happen. Just a little simple chit-chat like that.
Do they look like they're armed?
Yes, they are armed. The man holds 2 knives on either thigh, as well as a pistol at his hip, and the woman has a rifle across her back and a revolver at her hip.
Well, that's not good. I'm unarmed. All right.
As for your possessions are back. You have everything from before. Everything is returned to you. Your skulls are safe and at your hip and still decomposing slightly. No worries there.
I don't worry about the decomposing. That just gives it. I'll even throw some maggots on it just for the flavor.
Oh, nice. Turn them into grow farms.
All right, I'm gonna try something here. Okay, good. I just wanted to check if I had it. All right, I'm gonna actually review my position. I walk in and say, hello.
Oh, wow. Okay. If you're of hiding, reveal yourself. The man is going to startle a little bit. Takes a few steps back and puts a hand at the gun on his hip. The woman flicks her cigarette down to the ground and just kind of stomps it out as she looks at you.
You guys are being awfully scary. Look, I'm lost and I don't know where I am. Okay.
We're scary, the woman says to you. She just kind of points you up and down. She goes, "You should take a look in the mirror, buddy. You're pretty creepy yourself."
Yeah, I get that a lot.
The man says, "We thought you were dead."
What?
You seem dead. You were just lying there for hours. We've been waiting for you to wake up, but
wait,
I didn't think it was going to happen.
Lying there for... Wait, didn't you see me get washed up and... I was brought here by Hunter.
Hunter? You know Hunter? The man kind of looks at his comrade there and goes, "This thing is crazy." She'll say, "There was no fish. We just were here. We heard some sort of commotion in the water early this morning, came out, checked it out, and you had washed up. You've just been lying there. I didn't know what you were. I didn't even know if you were alive enough in the first place to call you dead. But don't worry, we're just curious about you. I'm Etna, and this is Solero. Nice to meet you."
Hi, I'm Abyss.
Fitting name. And don't go giving mine away, Etna.
Again though, where exactly am I?
Somewhere under the beach. Sure. How deep exactly? Couldn't tell you that. But
what do you mean under the beach?
You're in the Great Rashwan Tunnels, my friend. Welcome. How'd you get here? Stuck in from the sea, caught on one of the riptide currents, I take it?
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for saving me, but
we didn't.
If this
do
is
nothing.
the Great Tombs and Tunnels, why are you guys here? This is just a house. You guys live here?
No, this is just our outpost spot. Lots of things wash up from the shore, but usually they just wind up dead here. We take what we can off them and then let the tunnel critters feed off of them. No, we are with the miners. We're down here. Just keeping an eye on things.
You guys literally...
Our boss was curious about you. That we do. Not all of us. Some of us are go-betweens between here and the surface. But some of us, like Etna and I, yeah, we've made the shadows our home. Our boss was curious about you. Said to keep an eye on you instead of just tossing you back in the water and letting you drown. She should be back anytime now.
I don't think I would have drowned, but I appreciate you not tossing me back in the water.
The woman lights a new cigarette. She takes a long first drag, and as she exhales, she goes, "Well, we thank you for being so cordial and polite upon this
I have a question.
strange awakening." Yeah, of course.
Who's this boss you keep mentioning?
She's the one who made all these tunnels for us. She's been working hard, but don't let her know that we call her the boss. She has tried to ban that outright. She can't go up to the surface, but we look to her for guidance.
Wait, were these tunnels handmade? Like, they were dug out? I thought this was natural caves. You're telling me somebody did this?
Yep. These were done by the hands of just one person. And go ahead and toss me out an active perception. Nice, 17, pretty solid. Off that. Excuse me. Off that, 17. You see the tunnel continues down a stretch of way. It gets so dark and so far at one point that you couldn't tell if it continued on for miles, leagues, for eons even, or if it curves off. But you do notice some sort of silhouette far off. It reminds you of that white snow-capped mountain island that you've seen in your dreams twice now. As it grows closer and a rumbling fills the tunnel. You see Solero look over his shoulder down the cavern. He nods his head, says, "Here she comes now." And slowly into view, you see a giant, rotund and sort of donned with like light miner's equipment on, the gloves, the hat. They've got a little spotlight torch atop their head. And as they come into view, you see the features of this giant come down and kneel before you with this big smile as she says, "Oh, wonderful to see you awake. How are you feeling?"
Well, I'm alive. Also, I don't think I've ever met anyone as big as you. What are you?
This giant person seems taken aback as she says, "You? Huh. Well, I'm a giant. My name is Morley." And she extends her hand forward with a little pinky out toward you.
Oh, can I do something cool here?
Yeah.
I'll like morph my hand into one big enough to just shake her hand.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna just use the shadow casted by her own hand.
Nice, yeah.
My name is Abyss. Pleasure to meet you.
Morley's eyes just kind of widen. She seems slightly taken aback. She goes, "Oh, well, very interesting. Abyss. What a fitting name. What exactly are you, my new friend?"
Well, I've been told a few times that I'm a homie, but that's about it. But I'm a shadow guy.
Very curious. And those things on your belt, those heads, are they? Where
Yes.
did you acquire such things?
Oh, I earned them.
Morley stares at you a few moments. Solero and Etna are both just kind of smoking their cigarettes silent as you guys talk. And then Morley bursts into laughter. She claps her hands on her belly and just kind of leans back, rocks over, and shakes the floor a little as she sits down on her rear end. She
What?
goes, "Oh,
I
that's
haven't
a
seen a
good
whole lot
one.
of
That's
skulls
a
and be
good
like,
one."
don't you think skulls are cool? Look at the jawbone feature in this one. It is straight as a right angle. And in this one, he has 3 double chins in his skull. That doesn't make any sense.
Morley wipes some tears from the corner of her eyes and she says, "Oh, yes. Well, there are many interesting big wide world, aren't they? Aren't there? Excuse me. Oh my goodness."
Yes, I like bones
Then
because I don't have any.
Morley just kind of chuckles again, looks over at her compatriots, and points at you. And she says, "Look at this. Guess we can make a pretty little penny with the Navy now, couldn't we?" Oh,
What?
never you mind, never you mind. Just a little joke, I'm sure. Oh, but maybe you haven't heard the morning's news. Do you keep up with the newspaper at all, dear friend?
Well, I don't even know what day it is, so I don't read the newspaper at all. Most of the times I'm sleeping in this coffin.
Morley, Morley suddenly says, "Yes, yes, the coffin. I hope you'll forgive me, but I must confess, I had to take a peek inside."
Okay. He looks with a confused expression. You see a question mark just pop over his head.
How long has that body been in there?
Well, for as long as I've been alive.
I see, I see. And how long has that been?
Hmm. This is a good question now. How long has that been, Mikey? I don't want to say answer that throws it off the nose yet. It's been 7 years.
I think we had. I'm trying to pull it up exactly, but I can't.
Yeah, I was trying to.
I think. I believe it's been about 4 months.
Yeah, but subtract like 68 months.
Oh, so this is Morley again, scratching her chin. Oh, so negative 64 months?
Sure.
Morley stands up on her feet, starts clapping and pointing at you. She looks at her comrades and goes, "Look, we could get this entered into a world record. The first
Well,
negative aged thing in the
what,
world.
what,
No wonder you're
what,
so
what
shadowy
date is
and
it?
small."
What date is it?
Oh, it is. That's another thing I need to pull up. This one is more readily available. 1 second. Today is April 18th.
If it's well, halfway through April, that means but 4.5 months.
Roll me another insight. Dang, nice. Another goated insight at 22.
Pretty insightful.
You will see a little shade of sadness creep over Morley's face as she nods and kind of digests that information. Says, well, very good, very good. It's wonderful to meet you and have you here. Unfortunately, I do need to ask that you remain our ward and come back with us to our camp briefly. Do you acquiesce? And she does this very flowery, over dramatic bow, kind of tipping over onto one leg, and then she suddenly and tips over onto her side. The floor rumbles, and she's just kind of staring at you sideways now. Going, well, what do you say?
Well, I don't really know the way, so I have to follow you guys anyway. So sure.
Wonderful, wonderful. And as she's picking herself up, dusts herself off, she points back to the water and says, unfortunately, none of us could get you back the way you came. I couldn't even get ankle deep in that water, to tell you the truth, but even if I could swim like Etna or Solero here, we would drown before we could get you out. And you say, or you might have said that before they showed up, Solero, in that case, is going to take a step forward and say, yeah, which explain again how you didn't drown in there.
I told you I can't drown.
It's real easy to chalk it up to. Just that special. What's your secret? Some sort of rebreather technology or something futuristic?
No, I just don't have lungs.
He crosses his arms and stares at you with this intense gaze. And he nods and says, it's decided. He's a fish man. Heck yeah.
Sure, okay. But I'm actually more related to a minx, but sure, let's go with that.
Oh, wonderful. We'll take anyone along for the cause. And he comes over to you suddenly with this broad grin on his face and slaps you on the back and says, we know the struggle. You must be deep in it if you're this far in the south, away from home.
I have no home.
Fully upright now, and she starts walking back down the tunnel the way she came.
Well,
she waves a
I
hand.
do have friends, and they're nice.
Oh, good, good. Yes, yes. Friends. Well, you and all your friends will always have a place here with Morley's miners. And Morley leads the way as Solero says that to you, and Etna sort of brings up the rear. Any further conversation you were wanting to have with them
Sure.
as you guys
I wasn't sure if you were trying to cut off right there, but it felt like an outro moment. All right, sure. I was gonna.
That's it. Yeah, dude, that's kind of it from me on my end. But if there's anything you wanted to bring up, yeah, the floor is open.
Yeah. I'm gonna ask them. Why did they say? Why did? What? I'm confused. Why can't you swim?
Morley is kind of like doing this like almost like hop skip step, picking her arms up, and like it's sort of like the 1950s like guy walking down the sidewalk like gait. And she looks down at you in your chibi form and says, "Oh, well, I've eaten the Oshi Oshi no Mi, so I can't really get in water much anymore except to bathe myself. But I tell you the truth, even down here where not much is made for giants, it's pretty tough."
What's an Oshi Oshi no Mi?
Well, it's a special sort of power, not too unlike what made you, I surmise. But it allows me to reshape the ground and move things out of my way, create a labyrinth for my fellow miners here in order to hide us from the vicious Roshuan government.
Vicious?
And you see
Roshuan
Solero
government is bad?
as you ask that and you guys are walking along, you kind of see like in the like Solero's silhouette-esque form just he takes a spit on the side of the wall. They're sons of guns. Everyone.
Hmm.
Will kind of walk normally now. You see another wave of seriousness pass across her face. She says, "How long have you been here on Roshuan now? What do you know about this place?"
Hmm. Maybe a few days. I don't really know anything. I just showed up here with the crew, traveled around a bit, didn't really speak to the locals. Then one of my teammates got taken. All of a sudden, Abyss starts remembering.
You're thinking about Mitch, I assume.
Pretty much. And
As you start to weep like that, the party will just take a little break, stop walking at Morley's behest, and she stoops down, kneels as much as she can, and kind of reaches out to pat you on the back, and then rethinks it and uses just her pinky once again. He goes, There. What happened? What happened to your friend?"
I'm not really sure. But somebody took him. And don't worry. I know me and my crew will get revenge. But this, I'm more curious about this cave. Why would you guys need to make a whole entire new place to live under a kingdom you hate? Why not just leave?
Ooh, Morley, she stands back up, straightens out, and the party continues down the tunnel before she answers you. The other two also notably staying pretty quiet to let her take the reins there. And Morley finally says, "Well, it's not my home, Roshuan. I come from a land in the West. But it has become my refuge in a time of hiding, and I owe a great deal to them, so I have taken up to carve out this home for the reprobates, the criminals, the dregs of the earth." And you don't even have to roll anything. Morley is so big, you see her ball her. She talks more. The horrors we've seen here against the small folk who the government name worthless, useless, trash. No. Every child of Roshuan tunnels are not them. These tunnels are not a home. They're for me until the time is right.
Abyss looks up at Morley and then looks back at the other two and thinks to himself, so that's why these two follow her. Okay, let's see what they're about. And just follows along quietly afterwards.
Nice. I'll leave it open if there's anything else super pressing you wanted to ask, but that's kind of a good place to cut if not.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll leave that little party of four heading deeper into the tunnels a moment. Bring us back here to reacquaint. We're gonna zoom in before reuniting with our folks at Mr. Mantang's and see what Arthur is up to. We left Arthur off last time, having essentially been heading to Big Town. Their trek with Arthur, Spenny, and Glory turned into a bit of a retrieval. And along the way, they stumbled back along the path that led to Big Town, along with the battlefield where Mitch and Herbert Moon seem to have done some sort of battle, finding scorch marks on the trees and on the dirt and on the vegetation all around, lined with blue, ever blue scorch marks, as well as a bunch of strange dead rats that didn't seem to be decomposing, but Glory had did not come to see, led by the same agent that Leadbelly himself had met, and Kief in Mr. Mantang's. Things were left off on a bit of a cliffhanger when his blonde partner came out of the vegetation, her rifle trained on Arthur, and then suddenly head out to see something, and this blonde agent, who Arthur, you instantly recognize their outfits as Pinkertons. These are Pinkertons to the core. She fires her rifle at the man, who goes down as the bullet connects, and he lets out a giant wail that sends Lead Horse scrambling as he lets go of the reins.
You let the horse get away. I thought you were supposed to shoot me. Isn't it like ask questions first, shoot later? I think you got your order of operations mixed up.
Instead of offering any verbal response, she kind of, it's like a bolt action rifle, and she cocks that that bolt back, readies another round, and trains the rifle on you now again. She doesn't say anything, but you hear a rustle behind you as Spenny and Glory burst out to stand at either side of you.
Oh, my friends. Look, now it's 3-1, lady. It could have been 3-2. Maybe you'd have a chance, but Spenny here, he's the strongest son of a bitch I know. Oh, tuberculosis.
Spenny claps you on the back. He says, "Thanks, boss."
All right, and
shoot all
prove
three
how
of us.
strong he is, I'm gonna let him handle the whole thing. You know what, Spenny? You take care of this daughter of a bastard. See, it's like son of a bitch, but she's a girl.
Spenny puts his fists up, but doesn't approach her. He just like puts his fists up, ready for fisticuffs there beside you. The woman keeps her gun trained on you, Arthur. And I'm going to go a strict insight on this one. I'm going to need an insight as you are just kind of conversing with her one-sidedly.
Man, we're
Okay.
still on bad rolls.
11 could be a whole lot worse for this one. It doesn't reveal too much, but there is certainly a hint of deja vu all of a sudden. And before she can fire or before you can move, she suddenly lets out a raspy laugh. And she just sets her rifle down. She puts the butt of it on the ground and leans on the barrel. Just kind of takes like a casual stance as she leans on and goes, "Nothing ever changes with you, does it?"
Well, I'd beg to differ. A lot's changed. I'm pretty cool now. Like, I can do this cool thing. I don't want to use any of my spell slots, but believe you me, things have changed.
She just shakes her head and she walks over to you casually, gets up right in your face. No hostility now. She just has this little smile on her face. She nods at you, says, "Try me again, cowpoke." Roll me another insight at advantage this time.
Advantage. Ooh.
Nice. Yeah, that sense of deja vu is a little stronger, especially with that laugh in particular. Some gears are turning in your head. But before you can deduce it, this woman just kind of bows her head and she wipes a hand across her face a couple times, and there's still some smeared like makeup across her cheeks and down from the corner of her eye. It's a little bit of a rough job, but she is totally recognizable to you at that point as none other than Sadie Adler, dressed in Pinkerton uniform still, looks up at you and says, "How the hell are you, Arthur Morgan?" She just wraps.
I hug her immediately.
Yeah, she matches that instantly. Hug right back.
Oh my God, you're alive! You're not gonna believe who I found Lenny. Lenny almost got himself killed, as per usual. But I mean, oh my fucking God, how are you?
"Oh, I'm good, Arthur, I'm good." She starts clapping you on the shoulders, looking you up and down. "You look good. You've been working out. Shed a few pounds, I see." And she gives you just like a playful jab in the gut.
Well, it's hard to find Twinkies out here, but I make do. I'll make do.
At that point, you guys are going to hear just like some writhing around and groaning from Sadie's partner over here, who seems to have kind of regained consciousness. His hat has fallen off his head, and he's just kind of rolling around in the dust to try to scoot himself up onto his back as he clutches his kind of like his left pec, which is where he got shot. He looks over at you two as blood just pours from around his hands, dripping onto the dirt. He says, "Oh, Felicity, you bitch, what the fuck?" And he's kind of scrabbling for his gun. Sadie is going to turn away from you, run over.
So, like, I don't think we need to kill him. I mean, sometimes it's more about sending a message. Oh. But I gotta ask, I'm gonna walk up on him and be like, "How did you find me here? I mean, I know there's a bounty on my head and everything, but like, y'all are some slow folks. Y'all don't play nice with others. So how did you know where to look?"
I'm missing Mikey. I'm missing Mikey a lot. I'm missing Mikey. If you put those words together, you get MM as the initials. Missing Mikey like Mickey Mouse or in the house. Mikey, where are you gone? I cannot hear your voice so loud. Mikey, ready to be your campaign. Oh, Mikey, I want to hear you sing. Mikey, Mikey, where have you gone? Mikey,
He did say his,
this is a song.
His internet's been messing up today, so perfect time to say like and subscribe. Yep, oh, there he goes. We've lost the DM.
And subscriber.
Like or unsubscribe. For the metal.
Oh man, so how about that new One Piece chapter, folks?
Whoa!
Like and subscribe. My dick is hard.
I can't believe we got Roger Seraphim. No, no.
I
I can't believe Rox is Buggy's dad.
Dude, I can't believe Gecko Moria came back to say the One Piece is real.
Guys, I want everyone out there to know that Mikey's real name isn't Mikey. We just call him that because it's short
it's
for
Michael.
Dungeon Michael. Mikey, I see you back in here. I'm gonna get drunk.
Driving in my car right after a beer. Hey, that bump is shaped like a deer. You lie, how about you die? I'll go 100 miles an hour. Little do you know, I'm filled up on gas. I'm a get your fountain making ass. Pulverized as fuck with my Bergen truck. It seems you're out of luck. Truck.
Wow. Beautiful, beautiful renditions from Cody. Yeah.
Yeah, man, Bergen Truckin' is like a really good song. I keep calling it Bergen Truckin'. I forgot what the name of the actual song is. All I can think about is Asgore driving that truck.
Plug walk. I don't even understand how the fuck my plug talks. Grr. They hit that.
So,
script
does
too
anyone
clean.
have a SBS question for the crew?
Pick 'em up in a space coupe.
Hey,
on
y'all,
the
sorry
march.
about that.
He returns.
Every time
Yeah,
an
that was-
SBS, every time an SBS question's about to be asked is when Mikey shows back up.
Mikey shows back up.
Yeah.
I don't know what
That's
that
how it
timing is, man.
Yeah,
I
it's
apologize
It's
perfect
like
to,
timing.
It's like Oda intentionally cutting away right as something interesting is about to happen.
Anyway, what's Leadbelly's cup size?
He's like Zoro.
Lucas,
He's got
you
the
have to
biggest
answer.
titties. Yeah, he's got the biggest titties on the crew. But it's only because
So
of how
An
so
L
like
cup for Leadbelly.
yeah, like an an LB cup for Leadbelly, an L cup.
That's what I'm talking about. They didn't even have that 100 years ago. In the present, in the canon, they have that, but that's because of Leadbelly.
Exactly.
So did you hear what I said to the Pinkerton man?
I think that's where it cut out. Yeah. So could you repeat?
I said,
please?
How did y'all find me? Yeah, I know there's a bounty on my head. But y'all don't play well with others, and you're not the sharpest tool in the shed. So,
We weren't tracking you, you bastard. We were tracking Lenny. How do you think he stayed alive this long?
You insinuate that my friend would ever associate with scum like you, especially after Blackwater. You got another thing coming.
The man, very injured, as he's turning pale at this point, visibly pale, and he's bleeding a lot. He looks at you with like fearful eyes, but also hateful eyes, and he says, "We're not the ones that slaughtered a bunch of people out there, Morgan. You and your band of reprobates and murderers, thieves. We're on the side of justice." And Sadie just kind of digs a finger into his wound. She says, "Shut up, you."
No, Sadie. Sometimes it's about sending a message. And I'm going to burn I'm gonna burn a spell slot, and I'm gonna heal him with reverse curse technique. I'm gonna say justice isn't about keeping folks slaved up. Justice isn't about keeping the poor poor. Justice is about being as free as you want to make the choices you want. And while there are people who will do bad things with that freedom, those who would take away that freedom are not just. And it is my job to take the unjust out of this world. You go back and tell your boss I'm alive, and I'm coming for him.
Good luck. You're gonna have to stand up against all of the Pinkertons and the world government at this rate, Morgan. Oh, God.
You tell him my Captain Leadbelly, we're gonna turn this world upside down.
Yeah, right. You're gonna turn yourselves upside down and disappoint your parents is all you're gonna do. Do you understand that?
Oh, shit. Oh, you just had to bring up Mommy and Daddy. But you forget. My parents, I don't have a Mommy and Daddy. I have a Josiah and I have a Dutch. And I know they're proud of me. Can you say the same, scum?
Yeah, don't worry. Once we get you behind bars, we'll pair you up with old Dutch. Let you have some nice, meaningful reunion time. Ugh, Felicity, what is the meaning of this?
Hold on,
Kill
you don't have
him
Dutch?
now.
Where's Dutch? Where's Dutch? You lying sack of shit. You would never get him in a million years.
Real quick, will you roll that 1d10 for his healing?
Absolutely. Plus my modifier, which is a plus 5. Wow, now I'm getting good rolls. Cool.
Nice. You do see that wound sort of start to lessen up. Good roll there for sure. You see the look on this guy's face kind of ease up from the pain. Sadie will say, "Good going, thanks. Now we got to shut him up."
That does
She's
not.
gonna roll that
Oh.
to punch him in the face. It will connect in this instance, and it will not knock him out, though, as he just kind of gets a bloody lip now. He goes, "God damn it, Felicity, I'm going to string you up and give you to Ross at this rate." And Sadie just shrugs, and she looks at you and says, "Come on, will you help me tie him up? We got to get him off the road."
Wait, I need to know where Dutch is. This is too much. This is too much. I need to know what you know about it. Where is he? Where is he locked up? What island is he on? Like, you tell me now.
I'll tell you everything if you just knock him out, tie him up, and help me get him into the woods before somebody sees us. Spenny will even come up and say, "Yeah, I'll carry him if you can just do a knot. I can't really do a good knot."
Fine.
I have some rope in my explorer's pack, so I'll use the rope to hog tie him up. Do I need to make a roll to tie? I don't even know what roll that would be.
If you want to do like... If you want to toss out and athletics.
I'm bad at those.
We can do those contested. You should do yours at advantage, and I'm going to do Archer's at disadvantage.
Wouldn't have mattered. I rolled 2 6s. We're back to bad rolls again.
He's going to struggle a little bit, but I'm going to say Sadie and Benny, they lean down and they sort of hold him down and struggle him over onto his front, snap his arms behind his back, and with the power of all three of you, even though Archer here is fighting for his life, trying to get away from you all, there's no shot. You do manage to tie him up, but he is still awake as Spenny hauls him up onto his shoulder, facing backward.
Oh man,
I'm gonna have you all hanged for this.
He's still talking. Hold on. I've got something for this.
And I'm going to shove the last 2 lemon wedges I have in my pocket into his mouth.
No. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. He is helpless as you... He's
what a sour
He just gets a
puss.
sour look. Everyone starts laughing at that except for poor Archer slung over Spenny's shoulder. Sadie's going to wave you guys up into these woods and say, come on, follow me. I'll get us back to our camp.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll even try to help you find your horse along the way, too. Sorry for spooking it.
Well, we kind of have... We, all right. As much as I appreciate the reunion, as much as I would love to find the horse, me and Spenny, we have a primary objective, and if getting the horse, that'd be cool. But if we fail on this, I'm not gonna lie, Leadbelly's gonna have our ass. We're supposed to get these wrestlers in a tizzy to go fight with the clowns back on the beat. So if we don't get to the wrestlers, you see what I'm saying? But like, where's Dutch? Oh my gosh, I got like 80 of these HD things, and like my brain just like keeps like squirrel. Oh man, that's a squirrel.
Oh, Sadie gives you just like the funniest look as you guys plod along through the vegetation, heading off the path, kind of obscuring yourself from any potential passersby. She just starts chuckling again. She can't help it. And she says, okay. One thing at a time. First of all, don't get your knickers in a bunch over old Dutch, okay? The Pinkertons ain't got him. I haven't heard much word of him lately. Besides that, he might be up to his old ways, gathering folks once again. They thought he might have killed himself for a while. He went dark for so long. But don't you worry. That's why I'm with these goddamn bastards. And she gives Archer another just like punch across the face. I'm just going to say it just does a measly little 1 damage. Won't even roll for that one. He just kind of grunts. I'm going to find him.
Know.
Don't you worry.
What about that jackass, Mark? Him and his boy. Do you know?
Well, you're making me eat my words. You think Dutch made himself disappear? I ain't heard word of John, Abigail, or Jack in ages. Think they got Uncle with them too. He's been dark too, which is quite unlike him.
Lenny's on this island, but I mean, were y'all really tracking Lenny? Was he really working with the Pinkertons? Especially after Blackwater. I mean, I can't imagine it.
Ooh. As you guys hike along, she grows quiet from that inquiry for a moment. Guys plod along, and she finally says, yeah, he is really working with the Pinkertons, Arthur. So am I guess, technically. Keeping that little boy out of trouble, too. Poor thing is up to his gills in shit. He don't even know Don't you worry, I got Lenny under control. This guy here wants to bring him back to Ross, but I'm not going to let that happen.
You know, working with the Pinkertons is dangerous. I'm gonna burn them all down to the ground. Okay.
Oh, is that so? She gestures at her own uniform and says, how you feeling about all this? How's this sitting with you?
Well, to be honest, it makes me want to throw up, but, you know, I guess everyone's got to get by. I mean, I'm a pirate now. I guess I'm a sorcerer, sorcerer. I'm a sort of cool dude.
Well, I don't know about that. You were never that cool when we used to ride together. She chuckles too. It's a very obvious lightheartedness with it. She gestures at your own compatriots at Spenny and Glory. She says, I guess these are some of your new friends, huh? Pirate. Never really saw that in Arthur Morgan's future. I always thought you liked the land a little bit better than the sea. But I guess we all got to try something new eventually.
You know, where there's sea, there's plenty of new lands to explore. And I think I found a good group to find my redemption with.
Oh, sure. A good group you can go on rampages on small islands with, right? I read the paper, Arthur. Port Gorko? What happened there?
Okay, so like, I don't know if you've heard about this dipshit, dumbstruck, little two-faced fucking Timbuktu Turner bitch, but I'm a killer. That's mine. I was out here hunting bounties, thinking I was making the world a better place, and this bastard, like a slippery eel on a Tuesday morning, was slipping through my hands like he was right there, and I went pow, pow, pow with my gun, and it just, I'm gonna kill him. And unfortunately, Turner seems to have had patriots along his way that thought he was doing the right thing. Well, Turner has to die by my hands. That's just how it has to be.
Look, I won't try to sit here and shame your skill in any legitimate manner, but you sound pretty crazy right now, Arthur. Talking about going after living legends unearthed after ages. Even in his old age, I think Turner's one of them dogs that don't quit. You better be careful talking like that.
You might not be able to teach a new dog new tricks, but every dog knows how to sit. And every dog needs to know when to lie dead. I'm gonna kill him, Sadie. I'm gonna get him. You know what? If my name ain't Arthur D. Morgan, he's gone. He's a dead man.
Arthur D. Morgan. Why is it you think they left that off your bounty, huh?
Oh, they thought I was too handsome to have a big D on my poster. Yeah, do it. Do it. Get it? Cause like my dick. Do it.
Yes, very highbrow of you as usual, Arthur. Thank you for the explanation. As it turns out, maybe you and I can stick together for a little bit. Archer and I here were headed toward Big Town. Got some information at the circus that Lenny headed that way. Damn
Oh,
fool.
yeah, I saw him. He came up to me drunk and was like, Arthur Morgan's a bastard. I hate this son bitch. He doesn't care about his friends. And that's when I was like, Lenny, you're drunk. You need to go home. And surprisingly, he did. But, what would you say to raising a little bit of hell?
Well, I've been kind of in the business of keeping things even keel.
Well, that's even better, because we're talking about evening out a playing field.
Yeah, something about clowns and wrestlers duking it out. That's even more harebrained than anything Hosea ever cooked up.
It's a foolproof plan. Wrestlers hate clowns. They think that, they think they're the top performers. Clowns think they're top performers. They have nothing on real gunslingers, but I mean, that's besides the point. If we can get the wrestlers go in and assault the clowns, and it'll cause a big enough commotion that they'll just wipe each other out. And then we can get our friend Moon Beef off of the island, and we'll keep him safe forever. What's his name? Sunlight Tomato, Moon Kiefer Sin. He's a really, really good little man, but he's really, I swear, he's great. Spenny, what's his name?
I guess Spenny has. I don't know if Spenny and Kief had a proper introduction.
Spenny, what was the little one's
I
name?
think-
His name was Lean Beef Patty. His name was Mean Beef Daddy.
You guys encountered each other in the Bailey fight for sure, but I don't think you actually really introduced one another because Spenny's been out like a light since the fight with the Knight Rider. I did a private roll for Spenny. I'm gonna have him off of the even number. He is going to say, "Oh, his name's Elder Squint because he's so old."
Oh, don't bring up Elder Squint here. We just got away from him. Why would you? He's a trait. I can't believe you ever say he was a little friend of mine. I mean, a little friend. Like, little not as in, like, stature, but Squint is, like, a little bit of friend. But guys are obviously going to betray us. I see betrayal coming a mile away. I know what it looks like. And Squint's it. But no, I'm talking about the little guy. He's on Leadbelly's shoulder.
Oh,
When we were
I thought
cleaning
that
up
was some sort of
and-
foreign parrot. I don't know.
Oh, yeah, Parrot. That's his name. Anyway, we got this really cool guy who plays the drums. His name's Parrot. And, you know what? I think it'd be the perfect opportunity to introduce you to my friends after we get the wrestlers. Also, I'm looking for my brother in arms, best friend in the world, best buddy to ever know mankind. I don't know if y'all would have information about him, but Arthur's gonna pull out the poster of Mitch and be like, "Have y'all heard any news about Iron Mitch Johnson anywhere on these seas?" Through the network of the Pinkertons, like,
Not much, other than his bounty's been released, and Navy Base 199 is looking to have him personally shipped back there so they can hang him in front of Port Gorko. He must have killed somebody real important, those folks over there. They're in quite a tizzy. Our
they're
network's
just
been
jealous he's
blowing up
gonna be
about
the
it.
#1 wrestler in the world. He's the GOAT. He's the best. I freaking love Mitch.
I'm sure he's something else if he really uses those portals to the best of his abilities. But I ain't never
look
heard of him
around.
before.
I mean, if you see these scorch marks, Mitch got into a fight with Herbert Moon, and oh man, that's still coming back to me fuzzy though. I remember they went through a portal, and then we went through the portal, and then, it's all getting kind of fuzzy, but yeah. Anyway, we should go gaslight these wrestlers. And then we're gonna gaslight them to the clowns, and then we're gonna have them all fight each other. It's gonna be a big.
Well, tell you what, we'll team ourselves up for a little bit while my predisposed partner here takes some much needed bed rest. We'll head to Big Town together, find Lenny first, get him out of danger, and then I'll help you with whatever you need with these wrestlers and clowns business. How about that?
Right. We definitely should.
It'll be
find some
good. It'll be
sources.
like the old days.
Oh yeah, old days, new days, old people, new mission, same shit, different day.
Yeehaw to that.
Yeehaw. Tua, 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 tua. Ah, tua, 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 tua. So I guess Arthur will make his way with his companions towards Big Town. We'll start walking that way. We're gonna leave this guy with the lemon wedges in his mouth. Probably like way deeper in the forest or something. Yeah.
Nice. Can you control that token there?
I can control mine. Yeah.
Okay, word. You guys continue along. The nature of the forest changes a little bit as you get deeper and you enter a little area where the coverage sort of disperses slightly. It's like a very tiny meadow up ahead of you. And as you come out here, you hear some faraway cry. Sounds like some sort of a bird. You actually have something. No, I was checking something on my bad, on Arthur's sheet. I thought he had some sort of observational thing for this, but I don't think so. So if you want to roll me an active perception, Arthur.
Oh, I'm really good at these. Let's see how I fail. Oh, finally!
Hey, there we
We're
go.
back, boys!
We're post 20. You immediately feel a sense of danger right after you hear this cry, and a flutter of wings starts to grow louder and louder. Go ahead and toss me do a dex save. It'll be difficult, but it'll be at advantage since you passed that perception. Oh my goodness.
We're back! We back, baby!
Oh my goodness, there we go. Didn't even need the advantage in a way. That's badass. You are able to effortlessly well, actually, if you want to give a warning, if you say anything, you can, but you're able to push both Sadie.
And Arthur's gonna do like a slow motion Matrix Neo, like lead back into a JoJo pose.
Oh, that is sick. You are also able to shove Sadie like into Spenny with enough force to push them away. Gloria's fine, she is short. A large bird swoops down and passes over you, ruffling the clothes on your body. You see those razor sharp talons sort of like projected forward in an attacking motion, but the bird screeches out as it flies past you, up, back into the air, its attack unconnected.
You missed. Loser. 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 Loser bird.
Sadie and Spenny are both just going to kind of look around. As up ahead, the same bird circles back and is joined by another that bursts from the tree branches, the heavy, thick-leaved trees over here, out of cover to flap above the air in front of your small little party.
All right, so if
wanna
you don't
roll-
want to die, I'll kill you.
I guess I would take like, I guess probably a history makes most sense if you want to try to glean anything off of these birds. That one will be not at advantage, so unfortunately you're going to have to go with that 6. You're not too sure. They look fearsome. They're obviously quite fast. You were faster than them this time, but you can tell that it might not make the difference next time. The pair of them seems to be almost in sync with one another. But from there, for now, I'm going to pull us back for a moment. I want to reunite with the rest of our crew we had not gotten a chance to hear from yet over at Mr. Mantang's. Go. We ended off with Leadbelly, Kiryu, and Kief having, Kiryu actually having reunited with them at the Animals and Exotics exhibit. They are checking it out in the morning, specifically for the Goyu bird that the circus has in its exhibit, lost the word. And while you guys were there at the Animals and Exotics exhibit, you met a guy named Nick, another guy named Nick, not the Nick from Port Gorko, who seemed to have a lot of inconsistencies with his story. He seemed rather curious about you guys, about the circus, about Mr. Mantang's former owners, the Henderson family, and he had, at the end of your conversations as you guys were going around seeing all the different animals outside, he invited you guys over to Screwballs to talk a little further, explain himself a little more, and let him buy you guys a drink. And he headed off on his own while the three of you stuck behind to kind of talk it out. I think that was pretty much where we left you guys, still there at the exhibit. If there's anything you want to do, I'm going to pass the floor over to you three.
I'm trying to
We
remember the
looked at
conversation we were
Torino
having.
Kingdom bird. We looked at the Torino Kingdom birds, though, right?
Yes.
Yes, you did. And
Yeah.
you also we got that little flashback of some of Leadbelly's time there, which was kind of the conception of his flight powers. It came from these birds.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he
That was
left
more so
Torino because he got
going
someone
along the line.
pregnant. Wait.
I don't think that. All right.
I
That's
don't think
neither
that
here nor
happened in
there.
the flashback,
so-
but
Did,
canon.
did Leadbelly or any of us come to an understanding of whether or not these animals looked like they were in any sort of unwillingness to stay in captivity?
Well, with the Goyu bird specifically, Leadbelly absolutely did. And he surmised that, the bird is in captivity in like maybe the most objective phrase, definition of the phrase you could put it, but it did not seem unhappy. It was in an open air pen, like it was, or something, but it could fly off at any moment. It wasn't like chained to the ground or anything. Had plenty of food. Yeah, there was nothing super shady there that you guys could surmise from that. If you wanted to look at it from the perspective of some of the other animals, feel free.
Yeah, I'll
believe-
look at the rest of the exhibits, see what the overall feel is.
Yeah, outside is where a lot of the bigger animals from across the kingdoms are. You guys, I'll just kind of use any animals from the West glue, but they have plenty of animals from the East, the North, and even some from the South, though their Southern collection is a little bit lesser than their Eastern or Northern. Specifically, you guys actually saw a Triceratops, that purple-maned lion, some of the ox, and There's pretty much any major 4 blues animal you can see there. Go ahead and toss me out an animal handling.
Can't believe we saw Kung Fu Dugong.
Yeah.
I know. They were able to break that board like it was nothing.
Do you think they learned martial arts initially? Do you think someone trained them?
Had to have. But yeah,
Talk
Leadbelly,
to
look. That purple maned lion, he's over there, he's playing with a ball. Look. He wouldn't be able to play with a ball in the wild.
Yeah, I think they said his name's Mitchie.
Really? He looks like a Lionel to me.
A Lionel Richie.
Yeah.
A Lionel Mitchie.
That's awesome. Is that where that came from? I don't think I've ever made that connection before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Really?
I don't know. I'm gaslighting.
That's awesome.
We're gaslighting ourselves into believing it's true.
Yeah, exactly.
I'll take that gaslight. I want to open that. I want to welcome that gaslight with open arms. That's funny. Off that 8, Kief.
Yeah, you can't tell.
You can't find anything specific that screams to you like, oh, this animal is being mistreated. As you look across, maybe potentially a few of the exhibits, but you mentioned the lion in particular. Even like the fence, the paddock it's in, like it almost seems to you like it could get out at any moment. It's so big, if it got a running leap and just bounded over it, you have a hard time imagining it not making that jump. Yet there's still like something wrong about this to you. You kind of scan around at all the paddocks and exhibits and animals, and something just doesn't sit right about them being in what you surmise to be rather bare furnishings, I suppose, for lack of a better word.
Yeah. Keith will bring up the fact that, yeah, they're all here as an exhibit, but all of them can leave at any time. He kind of like doubts himself as he says that part, but they also don't have very much.
Well, maybe we can talk to Mr. Manting about giving them bigger enclosures or something. I mean, a lot is already riding on how well this conversation goes with him. So, but adding that in, I could just see like if things do go well, and we don't have to, do what we got to do. Maybe.
Wait, what?
What?
Yeah, I get what I'm saying.
Yeah, see, Kiryu gets it. Where were we? Above table, where were we? We had planned to go somewhere right after this, and I can't remember where it was. Was it
Mr. Manning, thanks. Henry
Okay,
the
yeah.
Horses Club.
Henry the
To go
Horses
talk with
Club?
Mr. Manning. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
what it was.
This is the path we were taking. We were coming down, and
The
then
path?
we walked this way to go get something. The new path.
The new
To
path?
get something to eat, and then
Oh,
went to
yeah.
the animal exhibit, and then we were going down here.
Mhm.
Above table, I just find it funny that Keith legitimately just found out about all of the stuff the Leadbelly Pirates or Sakura Pirates have done up until this point, and still has no idea what they're about to do to this circus. It's funny to me.
You're talking about from the paper, or did
Yeah.
Kiryu? Did you pass that info along to them?
No,
For
not
what
just
people?
that.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure if
Leadbelly-
you guys have the details. You know that you're wanted now, but I think that was all you got so far.
We got
Yeah, I guess not.
running into the other people. We ran into the other people last night and some this morning as we were walking by that were like, "Yo,"
Oh yeah,
or
that guy
the
that spit at
person
me.
came to our room.
Yes, I
It's
remember
like,
him.
I wanted, and I found out about all this stuff. I had like 3 times where Keith was just like mystified at what Leadbelly
That's
was
right,
telling
yeah.
someone
Mhm.
else.
Okay,
And
you did get a
He's still
little more
just-
than that. Then you're right.
doesn't know what's about to happen here.
Oh yeah. Leadbelly, we got our bounties.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Do you know like why? I'm assuming it's what we did in that other town, but
Yeah, that's exactly why.
oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, when you fight Marines,
Another town?
yeah,
great guess.
yeah, great guess, right? Rare Leadbelly recall win. Yeah, Kief. See, we were on this ship, and then like Kiryu got picked up, and then there was this crazy storm, and Mitch was like, "Oh, I can do this," and like we all got washed up on a beach, and then I was like, "Hey, that captain sucked, but I'll be a cool captain." And then we joined together, and then like we spent some time on this island, and then we went to this town, and Mitch was like, "Oh, I bet you I could steal more than you," and murdered an old lady. And then we kind of fought some Marines, and I may have beheaded a man, or BESTIE beheaded a man. It's a little fuzzy.
Wait, is that not the town you already told me about?
Oh, okay, yeah, it is, yeah. I believe it was called like Moki Rio, Ryaku, Rachi.
The
It's somewhere around
papers
there. Idea.
describe it as a desolate land where nothing else lives. Huh.
Well, not anymore, at least. And then Kiryu, are you meeting up with your person on the inside today?
Oh yeah, that's later.
Later? Okay, you can come with us to Mr. Mantangs. I'm gonna need you to help me size the dude up. I can't get a good read on him. It's almost like when I'm around him, every little preconceived notion that I've already had about the man goes out the window. It's very strange.
That's
Whatever.
just his good nature, Leadbelly.
See, I want to believe that, Kief. I really, really do, but it feels like something else. So, Kira, I'm going to request, if he offers his hand to shake, just tell him you got something about germs and don't shake his hand.
Yeah. All right.
What? Who would turn down a handshake?
Kief, trust me, I have this weird feeling in my gut that's why I got so enamored so quickly by him. That and his beautiful eyes.
Interesting foresight. Yeah. Okay.
Are we,
Are you guys
ready?
headed out of the exhibit then?
I assume so?
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Yeah?
I think so.
Awesome.
All right, as you guys head back out onto the main carpeted road, heading toward Henry the Horses, you're actually going to spot your dear crew member, Tweedle Club. I'm going to drag him a little bit over here. He is kind of heading down the street, looking this way and that. And as he spots you guys, roll me... Actually, what are all of your passives?
Good question.
Well, we have Kiryu with us, so.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be pretty high.
Yeah, mine's
I'm
17.
the eye guy.
Yeah, he's the eye guy.
Yeah, mine is 18.
Aye. Nice. Off of
13.
numbers, even off the 13, a little bit less so. We'll kind of attribute that to Leadbelly and Kiryu. You guys know him just a little bit better than Kief at this point, but he is very saddened, slightly panicked, and he looks like he hasn't really slept all that much. He comes up, he says, "Captain, first mate, little one, you see my brother? Can't find him. He went out for a piss or a snack late last night. We were staying at the hotel. He never came back. I've been searching since like 4 a.m. I can't find him. Nobody knows where he went."
Really?
Uh-huh.
No, I haven't seen Hammy Bone. Not at all.
All the people I've asked act like they never even saw somebody that looked like me, but we wanted around lying. I don't get it. I
Yeah,
don't get it.
twins.
Somebody's got to be lying.
Yeah, twins stand out as well. I'm gonna like look at Kiryu and like give him a look that like, is kind of like, we definitely need to be fucking perceptive. Something's going on. Listen, Bone. Keep walking.
Interesting.
It is very interesting. Bone or Clubby. I was like Ham Bone and Clubby is the nicknames I gave him. Clubby, keep looking for him. I'm gonna do this, and I'm gonna put my hand on his shoulder and like grow an ear from behind his ear, like I do with everyone else. This should hold up as long as you stay like relatively in the same area of where he went missing, since we're close to it. If you find him, if you hear anything, you yell for me, and I'll hear it. I'll come. We're gonna go find the guy in charge now, and I'll let him know one of my crew is missing, and that's not okay. I'm gonna try to comfort him. And
you be careful. Just keep an eye out for my brother. He don't do so good alone. That's why we travel together. He never leaves my side. I take a piss, but I'm gonna have to rethink that.
Yeah, don't worry. And plus, with his injuries, I don't see him getting too far by himself. So this definitely smells like someone grabbed him.
Just keep an eye out for him, please. Thank you. Thank you.
Hey,
I gotta keep looking around.
Before he walks away, Leadbelly's gonna put a hand on his shoulder and be like, "It's going to be okay. We'll find him," and give him that little bit of captain like reassurance.
Okay, very nice. He's gonna put a hand like on your hand on his shoulder, and he just kind of squeezes it. It's a little misty-eyed, and he nods his thanks to you. He can't really say it though. He just nods and then claps your hands again and walks past. He heads up this way, and you guys hear his method of searching. Ham, ham. He's just shouting that out every which way.
I think we need to find Mr. Mantang and figure out what's going on at this circus.
Okay. Heading right there for Henry the Horses.
Yeah. God, I hope Hambone's okay. Oh, let's go. We lost the dog.
As you guys...
No, you didn't. You don't have to worry about it.
Above table, if Leadbelly knew this, he'd just be, "It's okay. Dogs know their way back home by smell."
Yeah, it depends how well you trained him.
Yeah, right.
I mean, Lead Horse isn't really trained.
No, plus Abyss has like got his mark on Lead Horse.
Lead Horse is just more so of a free range dog horse.
A free range dog horse is crazy.
That is that canon? Is that going on its serve and flyer index?
No, free range. Yeah.
More like
Right
free
on.
use.
Oh my.
Whoa. Whoa. Wait.
Ain't no fucking way.
Oh, yeah, dude, holy shit, Cody.
No.
First the edging debacle, now this.
I'm gonna need a bigger jar.
Oh, no one's
Oh my god.
God. Don't make
We're
me
out
snitch.
of that time frame, right? What is it?
Yeah,
the
we are.
first
We're
hour,
good.
the first
Yeah, we're
30?
good.
Oh my.
Goodbye monetization.
Hey, at least it's all original.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm glad we don't have the debates of whether or not this is the show or D&D first. This is D&D first.
All right, y'all. I've brought you here to Henry the Horses. We're just gonna keep it to this side of the map today. It's pretty empty. The place is closed up. There were like clown bouncers at the door, but they let you guys in. They weren't gonna stop you. Kiryu, you got like an eye up and down as you passed inside, but they don't stop you. They just give you some extra scrutiny. Yeah, the place is empty, closed up for the day. As you guys come in, the 5 people who are in here stand out like even more because it's so empty. You got Henry the horse and Rito Misha by the stage, and on stage you got Jack, Blue, and Red. Beetle Brown is notably absent.
June Red. I'm gonna like walk right up to the stage and be like, "Hey, sweet cheeks, how we been? You know where the big man is himself? I'm looking for Mr. Mantang."
Throw me, I guess, a persuasion.
Oh, I'm
I
good at
almost want to
those.
call that a charisma, but I'll go with persuasion. I know you got a buff there. Okay, 16. This is kind of like one of those scaling ones, I guess. So she's gonna kind of, she doesn't totally blow you off, but she just kind of puts a hand on the mic stand and leans on it. She says, "Look, not now. We need to get to practicing, and we need to find Brown. You guys still haven't seen him, have you?"
No, but curiously enough, one of my, and then like Leadbelly stops for a second. He thinks, entourage is missing as well.
"What are you talking about?" says Henry the horse as he's puffing on his cigarette.
Well, yeah, go ahead, Kief.
Oh, well, so you see, it's very easy to tell that one of them is missing because they are identical.
They are twins. The only way I can tell them apart is that one of them has slightly lower earlobes. By the way, above table, he's talking about their haircuts being different. He just can't tell like that's what it is.
Nice. Nice.
But yeah, my
Rito,
ham bone is
Misha.
missing.
That makes Corky Blue smirk, and he just kind of like turns away to hide his laughter. At your explanation, Rito Misha will look at you, Kiryu, and she goes, "Oh, you're those big friends from last night, right? That's who you're talking about."
Oh yeah.
Oh man,
Yeah, one
I
of
hate
those
to hear
things.
that.
Those things.
I hate to hear that one of them's missing. One of those things.
No,
Before you can
twins.
even answer that.
Oh, twins.
Twins.
I heard things as well. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, the ship guards are not well beloved, I guess. Henry the horse is gonna just cross his arms and shrug, and he says, "Probably out enjoying the circus, and you just missed him. You don't need to worry too much about that. He'll show up for the finale tonight." He goes, "Listen,
Well,
listen." He comes up
His
to you,
brother
Buff.
said, his brother said he went to use the bathroom at 4? And if you look at it now, above table, what time is it?
It's like going on noon now. You guys are heading into the afternoon. Probably a little after noon, I'll say, actually.
Well, he stepped out to pee at 4, and it's already almost 1. That's almost 12 hours of walking around 6 hours before most of the fair's attractions open up.
Sure, but Screwballs is open late. He probably wandered off there and then took a nap on the beach. He's probably just sleeping off a hangover, which is probably what Beetle Brown is doing right now. And Henry the horse kind of works himself up as he kind of pieces that together in his mind. Lets out a huge sigh. And I'll let me think actually. I'm gonna have actually Purple Jack cut in to the conversation, and he nods over to the three of you, Leadbelly, Kief, and Henry the Horse. He says, "Kief, if you're not playing, I'm not playing tonight either. What's the word?"
Huh?
Well, I'm not a piece. I'm can barely do a 4-piece, and only if it's you that's with us, man. I'm tired of this merry-go-round right now. This entire South Blue stretch of the tour has really taken a lot out of this for me. Okay, I'm kind of tired of all this bullshit that pops up. I don't know where Brown went, but if you're not playing, I'm not playing either. I'm not doing a 3-piece. Sorry, guys.
Well, as Kief kind of looks at, but then looks past him towards Purple Jack and back towards Leadbelly and says, "Well, I can play with y'all, but we would need somebody that's a strong lead."
Well,
Lucas, you back?
Yeah, I'm here.
yeah, you are on a
picking
big
his
lead
nose
right now.
Yeah, he's picking his nose. He's like, all right, yeah.
Henry the Horse will look at you, Leadbelly, rather expectantly. And he widens his eyes. He goes, "What do you say, Lead Kid? Give it a shot. I'll even offer you quadruple pay for the night. It's the big finale. We can't leave him wanting more."
Listen, I'll do it, but I need an audience with Mr. Mantang, and I need my crew entourage back as well. So I need you to get some people looking for him. Also, I have a weird question.
Okay. Yeah, shoot. What is it, kid?
Have you seen a wrestler around? Maybe making portals?
A wrestler making portals. Shouldn't you know a little something about that, friend?
I should, but
He gives you this little smirk now.
He went missing before we even made it to here. So that's 2 of my entourage missing around this circus.
Roll me excuse me. Roll me an insight, Leadbelly.
Ooh, okay.
And this one at advantage. Give it to me at advantage.
I have to
We got
write
Paul
inspo
Revere
too.
in the chat. The wrestlers are coming. The wrestlers are coming.
I don't get it.
21,
Deal.
pretty damn good.
Thank you.
A thought crosses your mind. Where is Mystical? You haven't seen him in a little bit either.
Also, a third entourage member. Mine and Kief's, I guess you could say uncle. Kind of like a surrogate father. Mystical. He was here and he stayed back to talk to Mr. Mantang, but I haven't seen him since.
Yeah, he's talking with him last night.
He said he was going to stay here.
June Red is going to pipe up, and she says, "Oh, actually, I saw him late last night, but he was by himself over by Screwballs. I figured he was meeting you guys there or something. I was headed off to bed, but sorry, I didn't say anything. I didn't realize he'd been missing. That was late last night, though."
No,
Yeah.
we told him we were going to bed, and he told us he was going to go talk with Mr. Mantang.
Henry the Horse kind of scratches his chin with his hoof again. He goes, I see. Well, we can't find Bailey still neither, but we got the rest of the clowns reorganized. Mr. Henderson is kind of in charge of things in Bailey's stead. I'll pass this along to them right now. I'll make sure we get our best clowns on the case for you, okay? Thank you. And he puts his hoof out, takes your hand. He doesn't wait for you to shake it, Leadbelly. And he
No.
shakes it vigorously as he goes bipedal. And he's just hatting his hands like, thank you so much. I can't tell you how much this means to me. We've never had a losing night, and we're not about to start, are we, gang? And there's kind of a muted from the stage members, just like, yeah, mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
I can promise the big finale will be definitely something big.
Perfect, all right. He claps his hooves together now. We can begin our practice. Rito, why don't you get on that? Go find Mr. Henderson and pass the word along for me, will ya? All right, guys, get started. Rito Misha kind of looking between Henry the Horse and you, Kiryu, sort of stammering over her words.
Yeah, give us a big smile.
I'll go deal with this really quick, and then I'll be right back, I guess. Are you gonna be here until later on? She says this to you, Kiryu, and she kind of blushes a little.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for you here. Don't worry.
Oh man, that red in her face intensifies if you say that. She gets this little smile across her cheeks, and she goes, "Oh, okay. Well, yeah, great. I will be back in 2 shakes of a lamb's tail."
Perfect.
She kind of heads off.
Cody.
She leaves. Jeez. She whiz, man. She heads off on her own, heads out of the club. Henry the Horse is going to, excuse me, take the pad that she had in it. It's got just like a leaflet of pages on it, and he flips it over one, clears his throat, and says, "All right, Kief, take your place at your kit. Leadbelly, we're going to have you on keys on this one."
You're okay. Bum, bum. I don't even understand how that might plugged up.
We're crashed. I'm back. We're waiting on me.
Yo, not overly so. A little bit. Henry the Horse had just called you to take your place at your kit. You guys are going to start rehearsals here.
Yeah.
And I'm going to get a group performance from y'all. I'm going to roll for our 3 other NPCs.
Correct. Oh, someone got a nat 20.
We're just the new path, you know?
That's how we do things.
Nice. Y'all rolled really well. This will be a combined as well as like descriptor for each of you guys. So 23 and 17, you know, Kief, you're well in step. We'll kind of attribute that to, you know these beats a little better than Leadbelly, who's still very accomplished, coming in hot and strong. The nat 20, we're going to say, is June Red. She is able to just pretty effortlessly slide into things. Her worries seem far and away from what they were when you guys were missing your keys player. Whole demeanor shift there. That'll also count as double, so 40 for the group check. The 12 we're going to toss over to Blue, who It's over 10, so you know he's keeping up with it, but he's not really as flashy as he was trying to be last night, even though he's back on his typical instrument, the trumpet. And then Jack as the 9, he's not he is even more so just barely hitting like the skeleton notes, but there's no groove in his playing here.
Gotta liven that pep in your step, Jack. And I'm like, I'm like Jerry Lee Lewis over here. Except I'm not marrying my 13-year-old cousin.
Hell yeah to that, brother. Heard that. Kiryu, you being kind of audio, you're pretty impressed with what you're hearing. You like it. It's got some. It's like one of the swing or not swing. Excuse me. This is one of the like more soul pieces up there. Go ahead and Leadbelly. Will you? Wait, that's your passive too, isn't it? Okay. Since your passive demands that performance, I'm gonna give a little highlight. Nothing too much, but in the rehearsal, you feel like there is a part missing from this whole ensemble. It sounds good. It sounds pretty together, you know, barring a few stiff bass notes back there. But as you guys kind of round out the performance, you feel like that wasn't the whole song.
Feel like something's missing there, Dollface, I say to June.
Henry is gonna pipe up and he just waves a hoof. He says, yeah, that's my part. Don't you worry about that. I gotta keep the limbs loose for tonight for the main show, but I've done that so much now I could do it in my sleep.
Okay.
You sound good though, kid. Just keep doing what you're doing. All right, let's move on down the line. Next one is Happy Time Carnival. Let's hit it, guys. He claps his hose again.
Another performance?
If you guys want to play it out, sure. Yeah. This time I'll just take it from Leadbelly and Kief.
Kief hates this song.
Kief, they don't give you a whole lot to do on this one. So yeah, you were just there kind of hitting your beats along too. It's over 10 though, so there's nothing too out of pocket for you. That 27 though, you've even got Henry the horse moving, Leadbelly, as he kind of focuses on you. He goes, yeah, all right. I'm gonna make you a permanent, Leadbelly. Don't you worry. I'm gonna convince you.
No, you're not.
Yeah, no chance of that.
Keep playing hard to get. Yeah, whatever. Kief, are you doing that like on purpose? You're playing 10 off on purpose?
He hates this song.
Okay.
Literally, it's like, find the pocket! Find the pocket!
But yeah, in that case, is there anything from you, Kiryu, that you're wanting to do here at Mr. Mantang's or here at the club?
Other than that, no. But I guess I'm gonna go to a table and start tinkering with some tools.
Okay, what are you tinkering with?
Let me think. Yeah, what can I do when I'm not on the ship?
Well, let's see what you got on you.
I have the tinkering tools.
Weaponry, your standard like survival type gear.
I could turn the robotic arm into something else.
Sure, yeah. Is that the one that Arthur broke off of the mannequin, or is that the hand that Kiryu left behind?
Yeah, I think it's the. No, I think it's one of the arms that. Sorry, I don't remember exactly what happened. It was the arm that the bounty hunter guy had.
Yeah, yeah. So that one, that is the one that Kiryu left you behind. It wasn't the whole arm. It was just the hand chopped somewhat unceremoniously, but with a very clean cut at the wrist. So you've still got that hand.
Yeah, I just
if you
got.
want to tinker,
I'm.
if you
Yeah,
want to tinker around with that,
I'm gonna take the modify the fingers for. Oh yeah, what's this guy name? The other old dude.
okay, yeah, yeah, absolutely. Go ahead and
I
toss
missed
me
it.
out toss me a tinker's tool just to kind of get started in like disassembly, I guess. Yeah, 24 is great. The casing is very sturdy stuff. It's a very hardened, like some sort of polymer, I suppose, shell. Very, very, very much still the same as your designs from way back when in the Whiteland days on the surface. As you pop that back panel off, you kind of see the inner workings of the prosthetic, the tendons, if you will. And
Yeah, I see.
you'll notice they're made of some sort of a soft material of some sort. That being the only thing standing out so far that does not match what you remember. And as you sort of pluck on them a little bit lightly, they remain soft, pretty flexible. But when you start plucking them harder or pressing on them with a lot of force, they turn incredibly tough and rigid.
Oh, I see.
Will you throw me an active perception as well?
Yep, I think I had advantage on those.
Oh,
25.
Nice.
Yeah, I zoom really in.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, you do like a little something catches. Oh my god. Roll for jar. What would that be? Survival?
Survival?
Something catches your eye in the inner machinations of the prosthetic, and you do a little zoom in. And there on one of the base plates that sort of everything else is, all the other tendons are sort of connected off of inside. You see an etching of the logo of some sort of brand. And you see in very fine words, almost so small you wonder how anybody could have written this, Shepherd Ergonomics.
Who the fuck is this guy? Where the fuck did you get this technology?
You will actually roll me a history. It won't be too hard of a DC.
Damn.
Oh wow. Jeez. Well, what I was gonna run that off of specifically, start with that. You remember Klein Abumi, the shopkeeper from Old Beach Haven, mentioning that he got this prosthetic along with a couple others off of a defective shipment, a defective batch from his contact at Shepwright Ergonomics when you had first pursued the lead of this hand. Off a crit, though, you're going to kind of remember a little bit more about Shepwright Ergonomics. They are a Grand Line company. They receive, you can kind of recall, forgive me, I gotta be slightly
Yeah.
bureaucratic with this answer. I want to honor the crit, but I still got to play a little bit fair
Yeah, I get
to
that.
another side of things. You remember, like, Dr. Schnitzel from time to time would talk about all the like genius things that were going on at Shepwright Ergonomics, but when he would go off like that, it wasn't too often, and more often than not, when he did, you were working on something and kind of just, you know, it was one of those things you could let fly in one ear, out the other. You do kind of recall reading about them in the paper here and there, receiving grants from the world government for their research in prosthetics being one of their main arenas, but also in what's like the term for that type of stuff, like everyday lifestyle type stuff, like seats that get put in vehicles, like back spinal adjuster type stuff, like sort of just basic uninteresting stuff from what you recall in the newspapers. But last thing I'll say before I stop blabbering, you do remember that they are one of the few global trade companies, so they're able to send their parts all over the world.
I see. So those motherfuckers just got on our designs and just copied them, mass produce them. Fuck. There's something has to be done. Well, I have some ideas. Well, that's something to keep mind of, but until then, just I'm gonna continue my stuff.
Nice.
Nothing to be done.
What else are you gonna tinker with the hand?
Well, I want to. That's a good question. I think I'm gonna hollow it off more the hand part and like making some of a glove to fit Missy's hand and keep the finger technology in there.
Interesting. Okay, yeah, you're definitely gonna need to do some finagling to get that exactly down, but I feel confident in Kiryu. Throw us another Tinker's Tools to, kind of gut the prosthetic.
Yep. 17.
17's still pretty good. Not super perfect, but you're able to get a lot of the components out. Even the like flexible fluid strands of tendon that Shepwright Ergonomics used in this model. You kind of like pop one of them off from the index finger, and as you do, it's the first one you tackle. It snaps back toward the wrist, and it becomes this tight, coiled little ball of like slightly squishy, slightly like dense, like concrete almost fiber. The others you're able to take off of their braces, their clips, if you will, a little more gingerly and ease them down into place. When they don't snap into place, they don't shrink up and become tight like that. The other three you're able to do that gingerly with.
I see. Can I roll something if I can see if I can recreate the technology?
Yeah, if you want to
Maybe
do
check.
like an insight investigation type thing like that, if that's what you're referring to, yeah. See
Yeah,
the properties of this stuff.
that's
Okay,
not a good
14
one.
off insight. This was a tough one. 14 is not like terrible though. So I'm inclined to say to you, you haven't really seen anything like this before. You've seen some comparable synthetic materials that were used to an elastic band of some sort. But this, as you inspect it a little further, this looks like organic matter. This doesn't look synthetic.
Oh, I see. Well, that gives me some ideas. But I have. I'm gonna see how I can maybe find an alternative for bioorganics. Shit, that's my brother's experience. Yeah. Damn it, couldn't they be just mechanic? Well, that's something to keep in mind.
Say that again. It's a type of what? What did you say?
Which part?
The second half of that kind of cut off. You said something like it's a type of something, and then I couldn't hear the last part.
Yeah, it's some type of biotechnology. That is my brother's expertise, not mine.
As you say that, I'd like you to toss me out. I guess it'll be an intelligence save.
All right.
Oh, nice, nice. As you think that being the more bio side of things, your mind can't help but wander a little bit as you sit there kind of inspecting the elastic bands and the other inner workings of this hand. You think back to being a younger you, a child, if you will, experimenting with your brother under the tutelage of Dr. Schnitzel, at times quarreling with him too. The memories don't have a whole lot of form or function at first. They just sort of replay in your head as you fondly of him working on his invention, you working on yours, and then later on, as you two got a little older, actually working on two sides of the same invention together in the same room, but at your own workbenches. And look over your shoulder at your brother, and seeing him continue to work would inspire you to work even harder. But there was also sort of the wonder of, is he looking over his shoulder at me every now and again? And as you kind of come back to the present, still with your tools and eyes deep inside of this strange Shepherd Ergonomics Schnitzel grade prosthetic hand, go ahead and add an inspiration to your sheet. 16
shit.
barely made it, but yeah, just a little
Let's go.
mini flashback moment there for you, and it awards you an inspiration, brother.
Yeah, that's nice.
Anything else there? Oh, actually, yeah, there's one other thing from me. But actually, yeah, I will pose it to you first. Anything else you're wanting to do with this hand before you sort of expand it for fitting like a glove type capability?
Yeah, I guess Mystical needs he has both of his sense damage. No?
He has a what?
I'm saying both of his hands were damaged, no?
Yeah. He's damaged all over fingers from both hands. Different fingers. I actually don't think I've ever specified. Maybe when he was first introduced, we'll say, and forefinger from his left hand, and his middle from his right.
So do the fingers overlap? Like,
Like with the prosthetic, or with his wait.
I'm saying,
With
yeah.
the prosthetic?
Does he miss the same finger on both of his hands?
No. He's missing the ring and forefinger, like his index finger from his left, and just his middle finger from his right hand.
Oh, then that's pretty much perfect. I'm gonna split this hand in two, make so it can cover
weird.
both of the hands. Yeah, that's perfect.
That's gonna get a little technical.
Yeah.
And let's see. We'll stick it with the Tinker's tools. It's gonna be straight.
Yeah, does the music inspire me and to work harder?
I guess it can. If Leadbelly wants to do some bardic inspo, I believe everybody should be fully rested at this point.
So, I'm playing the soft
Up to
parade
you,
right now.
Hell yeah.
I'm all like, oh, can you find me? And yeah, I'll throw Josh some bardic. Let me open my sheet.
And this is another song of yours, Leadbelly, by the way?
It's a Doors song, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. Ba-na-na-na. I don't have that feat, Dill. I have a different musician's feat. He's typing. L music.
Oh my god. It's always the drummers throwing shade.
Right? It's a D8, by the way. 1D8.
Alright.
Hey, let's go.
Then I'm gonna first roll normally. Yeah, I don't even need them. But
Wow.
I'm going to do it.
Oh my word.
I'm gonna do it.
Oh my goodness.
Let's go.
This was a difficult one too to begin with, but if you're going post 30 on that, yeah, you with the music playing behind you and those memories sort of sorted out for the moment in your head, giving you that slight clarity of mind, you're able to take the hand apart quite skillfully, down to the point of where you've got an extra pinky lying there attached to the kind of tough to conceptualize, but you get them separated, one from the palm side of the hand structured, one from the top side of the hand structured as a base, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And you've got that extra pinky, which you're kind of thinking there like, oh, this is just going to get in the way, but you go that extra mile and you carve the pinky off so it won't be Sequel's way. Kind of refashion the metal working around it so it's sort of like a slip that'll on surrounding the wrist, I guess. And then if there's any sort of descriptors or flavor you want to put on it at that point, you want to modify anything there too. Yeah, just however you want to fashion it. Very successful.
Oh yeah, just add the laser to it.
There's Superman over there with the laser eyes. Very,
Yeah,
very cool. That post 30 roll is insanely dope. Yeah, it's a flawless little creation you've got in front of you now as the big band continues to practice.
Yeah, perfect.
All right. As Kiryu is working, you guys, Leadbelly and Kief. Anything else you want to play out before I cut our scene again? Check back in with the bits.
I'm solid right now. I've kind of implemented what I needed to implement, so. Kief, anything from you? Oh, he muted. He had dinner. Look at this man having a family that enjoys food.
I guess I'm gonna give the hand a brand new coat of color.
Okay, nice. What color?
Yeah, it's gonna be on brand red and blue.
Okay, right on. That's cool. Is it like red on one hand, blue on the other, or they're both like striped, or?
I guess
Like
yeah.
accented.
One is red with blue accents. The other is blue with red accents.
Oh, cool. Okay, I dig that. Yeah, Mystical's gonna have a cool little addition to his life there coming up. You might become his second favorite person on the crew. Who knows? Or I guess third. I guess it would have to be third at
Yeah.
this point. But I don't want to speak for the Sakura Pirates. I'm not sure if Kief has been formally inducted or not.
No, he has been.
standings. Has he?
No, in
Has he? Did
Leadbelly,
we
yeah.
do that? Did we do the apologies if I'm blanking on that.
No, we haven't done the
Lots
sake
of
cups. Like
stuff
he's definitely agreed to go with us,
Okay.
but we haven't done like sake cups, or I haven't had Kiryu brand him yet.
Okay, that's kind of what I was getting at. I got you.
Yeah. Because he has to build the mini brand and cover up his slave mark.
The mini bands. All right. I do gotta keep it a little bit tighter today, unfortunately. So we're gonna segue into our final scene of the day here. Joining back up with you, Abyss, you continue to follow Morley, Etna, and Solero down this broad tunnel. It just got deeper and darker as you guys continued along. Made conversation here and there. Feel free to call anything out if there's anything specific you thought of that you want to talk about as you guys come upon their camp. And this is fashioned a lot of the same way as that little outpost by the water you saw, but there are a lot more huts, a lot more fires, and a lot more people.
Alright. You see Abyss look around in amazement. Wow. This is like a whole other world down here.
Yes, it took a lot of time to get together. Hello, how are you? As you guys are heading along, walking toward Morley's section of camp together, she and Solero and Etna are sort of waving hi and exchanging pleasantries with people you guys pass. You don't just pass fighter types like these three have been. You pass a few children, old people, a few people who are sick. They're either like missing a limb or they're like hacking up a lung and sitting like outside their door. All the houses and stuff are sort of packed up on the sides of the tunnel. It's not really an opening per se. And you see these big bonfires like that, a few smaller cook fires here and there. And up and down, I guess more so up ahead, you see a curve in the tunnel well lit here. You really couldn't say how far this little long village extends.
Oh. Well, how long did this take to make?
Morley lets out a groan as she sits on this massive bedroll here by this particular fire and a couple of other huts. It's giant sized. It's got pillows that are like the size of y'all's sails, totally bundled up and folded in on each other. The blanket itself is more like a tiny island to you in your chibi form. And Morley is just like, yeah, took me a good solid couple years. Of course, this tunnel is interconnected with all the others up and down Rashwan. Goes up toward the castle, down to more keep, all under the big mountains. Took quite a bit of time, but I had nothing else to do. I was just hiding from the world government after all.
Wait, you seem like such a nice person. Why are you hiding from the world government?
Solero, who has been a little more talkative, and Etna, who has really not been, she remained silent after those first few exchanges, but they start laughing. They look at each other as they get some coffee from that campfire. They just start laughing as you say that. And Etna will pipe up and say, you haven't pieced it together? Big, giant, hiding away, world government involved? I guess he was
You
born
must have missed the
yesterday
part where
or
I said
4
I'm
months
4 months,
ago.
4 months old.
No, I heard you. I fully believe you now. She just takes a sip from that hot coffee as she passes it back over to Morley, who leans down and a little more friendly. She tells you, well, you see, I broke out of a prison that, well, they don't know that I broke out of it. And I'd really like it to keep it, I'd really like to keep it that way for as long as possible. Surely you've heard of a little place. Yeah, she said, I broke out of a prison that nobody's ever broken out of before, and nobody knows that I escaped, so I'd really like to keep it that way. Surely you've heard of a little place called Impel Down on the Grand Line.
Have I?
You can roll me a history. We'll see if that comes back up in your memory banks.
Well, quote unquote, my memory banks.
15, it meets, it beats. You have some vague recollections of such a place. There's a sense of grandiosity associated with the name Impel Down. Even just hearing Morley say it, you get like a little shudder of authority that runs down your back, but you can't really remember specifics about it.
I feel a chill in the coffin. Uh-huh. Oh, for some reason that name seems quite scary.
Morley chuckles and says, yes, I assume it would. Especially for you. Someone so new to the world, unsure of all that there is out there built by man.
But how did you spoke as if you knew me? How did you know me?
Well, forgive me, I don't know you. I didn't mean to be presumptuous.
Oh,
Abyss,
so all these people
roll
here are
me...
trying to destroy the Rashwan Kingdom?
Ooh, still roll me an insight, will ya? But I'll answer that for Morley. Morley, 20, nice. Morley waves her hands in response to your question first and says, No. We don't want to destroy anything. These people treasure Rashwan. It's their home, like I said. But they've been driven out of it by people who are hungry for more power, more money, more greed itself. they've had nowhere else to turn, so they've had to turn to the tunnels for the time being. And off that insight, something kind of sticks out to you from that description, but it's not actually about what Morley has switched the conversation to. You kind of think back to that moment of like almost recognition that Morley seemed to have for you. And you realize that she has kind of been catching glances at your coffin more than just now, when she did very obviously.
Sorry for the last part again.
Right before that, when she said something about knowing you or you knowing her, she took a glance at your coffin, and you sort of realized Morley has been taking little peeks at your coffin here and there more than just that time, even in conversation totally about, nothing at all, just more chit chat. She would take these little glances down to look at your coffin.
Is there a reason why you keep looking at my bed?
Your bed? Is that what you call it? Well, it doesn't look nearly as cozy as mine. And Morley will pat the sides of her bedroll there. Toss me out a disadvantage.
What would it is?
Minion? A persuasion, good sir. Say it looks like a minion. I kind of see it. It looks like it's on its deathbed. Banana. I'm dying. Wow. Those are some crazy numbers, even at disadvantage. 24, Morley is going to kind of nod. And
Yeah, it's a great bed.
and Etna.
Why do you keep looking at it?
Solero, Etna, will you two give us a moment, enjoy your coffee and a stroll, maybe another cigarette? And they don't even need to, have a debate or a dialogue about it. You see them kind of pick up anything they've got. Solero stands up from his seat he's taken, and they walk off together. They just head off on their own down the tunnel. This patch around you guys is pretty empty now, as even still Morley leans in close to you, Abyss. She takes a deep breath, and she just looks between you and the coffin a few moments before she says, "You don't seem to know a whole lot about your traveling companion in there, do you?"
Give me some switch my earpiece.
Sorry if that's breaking up a lot.
No, it's me. My earpiece is falling out.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Yeah, Morley leaned in close to you, Abyss, and said,
I'm not right.
"You ready for me? Gun, Gavin?" Morley leans in close to you and just between you and the coffin and asks you a whole lot about your traveling companion there.
You mean the Leadbelly pirates?
Well, if that's what you call him,
Oh,
I knew him by a very different name.
Oh, you're talking about the coffin.
The man inside the
Mikey, you're breaking up.
check, hello? Check.
Yeah. Yeah, that was good.
Morley says, yes, specifically the man inside your coffin. You see,
Oh,
I didn't escape Impel Down alone. I had a few friends, at least.
wait. Are you saying you know the man in this coffin?
By a very different name than Abyss, but... And Morley gets pretty visibly emotional now. She opens her eyes and kind of pinches the bridge of her nose and says, yes, Zebek was a very good friend to me, as a smile creeps across her face. It's rough to see him in such a state, but... Ooh! She takes a big sniff and kind of composes herself then. Excuse me. He was a great help in escaping that place, and an even greater help in the days afterward, keeping the rest of us alive. He always dreamed of creating something totally new. I suppose he succeeded.
Did he tell you why?
Why? What?
Why make me? Why am I here?
Well, I can't answer that for you. It was many years since we broke out and parted ways. I thought he would remain on the Grand Line in the new world where it was safe for people like him. But it appears his adventurous spirit could never be broken. That is a small comfort, at least. Does it live on in you, that sense of adventure, Abyss?
Abyss turns on and starts walking away slowly, and then looks up at the ceiling. In a sense, I am a part of him, but I hate that man. And you see like a grim look on his face. I was born in this world with nothing. And he sealed this thing inside me. He told me nothing. Venture out. The desire to go around the world. No guidance. Drifting lonesome. In a coffin. With a corpse.
Morley turns pretty shell-shocked to hear you say that. She gets a kind of pained expression across her face, actually. But she stays silent. She listens to you.
But for some reason, a part of me can't be detached from this thing. Something tells me I must stay close to it. So I can figure out what I am and why I'm here. And you're telling me the person that put me through all of this is supposed to be a great person?
Ooh, Morley will kind of like jut her jaw out at that. And she takes a great big sniff, and with a pretty palpable hint of rage, dormant rage in her voice, she says, it really just depends on who you ask. If you ask me, he was a most great man.
Well, I guess
The
I will
legends
find
have
out one
died.
day.
Don't
Oh,
worry,
sorry,
little
what are you
one.
saying?
In response to what you just said, Mori's going to say, well, to that, who knows? The legends are still out there, though. They've died here and there across the four blues, from what I hear. But I'm sure of it, on the Grand Line, they still sing the name of Lord D. Zebek. Now, friend, I don't know what answers I can give to you. I'm really not sure. Like I said, we had parted ways long before, well, before I got here, before whatever happened to Zebek, before you. But perhaps I could help you out in some way. But Abyss, I do hate to do this, my friend. I don't like bartering. I can't stand it. Money, things. I get one thing in exchange for another, but in this world sometimes you have to, don't you? Maybe you've learned that so far?
That is inevitable.
Ooh, Morley nods very sagely when you say that and says, yes, inevitable. That's a good word for it. Another inevitability is that I cannot go to the surface, as we mentioned, or else draw far too much attraction to the miners, to the rebels here on this land who must stay quiet, unseen until the moment is right. You and I, we are so different. You're really not too sure what Zebek did. You could
You're
get
backing up.
places easily.
No, it's fine. Keep going, Mikey.
That was pretty much it. She finishes off by saying, you could go places where I or even Solero and Etna could never go. Isn't that right? They
Yeah,
tell
that
me
is true.
Right. Like how they mentioned you snuck up on them seemingly out of nowhere, even though they were keeping their eye on you. Very useful abilities you have.
Well, are you telling me that you want me to sneak you to the surface?
And you're clever. Abyss. Perhaps once this ordeal here at Roshuan is done, I could travel a little bit with you and use for real, for truth. But for now, I withhold any information about Zebek from you. And don't fret. I don't know enough that could give you the answers you're looking for. I wouldn't be so close to do that too. But perhaps I have leads that could help you out. Could you help me out first?
Abyss is gonna think for a moment. And let's see. Ooh, here's Abyss is gonna think about the voice he heard and the vision he saw of that snowy mountain and be like, okay, well, I'll have a few questions for you once this is all over with. And I'll tell him, I'll say, at best I can do, I'm gonna look at my ability. Equal to level. And what level are we? I am 3. Okay, so at best I can sneak in 3 of you.
Oh, you're too kind. I mean, perhaps we will take advantage of that when the time comes, but at the moment, I think you should do fine just on your own.
Oh. What exactly am I sneaking into, and why am I doing it?
You see, we have big plans for the city of Big Town. That will be the foreground of the Roshuan Civil War. That will be where we strike first and burst outward toward the other provinces to depose the despots. In Big Town, you said you haven't been here long. Do you know a lot about their economy?
No, but I'm pretty sure my crewmates do.
Of course, of course. And again, I would love to get their help on this too, if able, and gift you all what resources we have. Or, if you like, you could join up with me and keep fighting the good fight elsewhere after this ordeal. But I leave that entirely up to you. My point being, Big Town is run by one thing and one thing alone. They'll tell you up there on the surface that it's the merchants who are revitalizing this kingdom and that city and turning this into a perfect mercantile empire. But that is not the case. The economy grows outward of this land from the Thunderdome, where they pit people against each other, slaves, criminals, refugees, runaways, people the world won't miss and people the world government are not going to go after to save or find. They pit them against each other for money, gambling on the lives of their fellow man, in exchange for winnings, for things that they can barter later on. Abyss, I need you to... Do you think you can do that?
So you want me to infiltrate the merchants and rob them?
No, not the merchants. They're a plague of their own, but that's something that this land will have to work out in their own time, in their own way. I'm talking about the people who run Thunderdome. Most people think that it is the crazy, sadistic Baroness, Auntie Entity. But no. Her chain of command goes even higher, up to the humongous lands of Highest Crag.
You know what? You have a deal.
All right, wow. Morley will smile when you say that and once again extend her still massive pinky down toward you and say, wonderful. I can't thank you enough, Abyss. We're going to be close friends. I will make sure that I earn that honor of yours.
I'll say while Morley reaches out the pinky this time, I'm going to attach my Abyss tag to like her fingernail, like looks like a style or something.
Oh, cool.
And then
Okay.
I'll say, I left a bit of a treat on your finger there. That's so we can stay in contact even over long distances. If you ever need me to bring you anything or contact you in person, just let me know. Also, is there anything else I should know? Because I should probably meet up with the captain. I probably don't know where I am right now. They definitely don't know where I am right now.
Oh, of course. Go and recruit your friends or reunite with them as needed. Please feel free to tell them about us, but at your closest discretion. We cannot have this becoming public information, or else the Roshuan army will flood in here with the main force patrol, all the armies of the provincial leaders, everything they got. If that happens, the entire operation is done before it could even properly begin. Can you promise me that?
Oh, Scout's honor.
Well, thank you. Here are all the details you'll need. And I will say before Morley gets heavy into that, I think I want to kind of leave the details of the job for next session. I'm going to pull us as you leave your mark on Morley's nail to our screen today, to be continued. Guys, I know a little shorter one today. I apologize. I want to keep going, but duty calls, unfortunately. We are back on schedule though, so we will see you all in 2 weeks if everything goes according to plan. Looking forward to it though.
Hey,
Yes.
W session, man. That was great.
Yeah, that was an amazing session. We have so many plot threads set up right now of I love how in the past 2 sessions, an entire revolution against the Rashwan Kingdom has started to unfold. Will Arthur be able to get the wrestlers is the question, though.
We will have to see indeed next time. Definitely a lot of good developments will potentially be a longer session next time. I'm going to plan for it. I have more stuff planned for today if timing had worked out. So we'll have a good little time getting toward the finale night. I think it should be good, gang. That's all from me tonight. Thank you guys for joining us, and thank you to my crew for joining me on this very, very fun game. I'm loving where you guys are taking this, man.
Yeah, so am I. I'm having a lot of fun. It seems like the crew is as well. With that, we're going to close out the stream. I hope that everyone out there has a wonderful, wonderful night, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time.